All right, here we go. Breaking news. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, the NBA has suspended Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant 25 games to start the 2023-2024 season. You can't make this one up. You seriously can't make this one up. I promise you. I don't understand it. By the way, before we get into all this garbage and nonsense, so follow us on social media, across the Empty the Bench Podcast Network, at ETB Sports, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow us across the Empty the Bench Podcast Network at ETB Network, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you're watching now on YouTube, youtube.com/ETB Network. All right, let's get underway, shall we? As you can see, according to Adrian Wojnarowski, the NBA has suspended Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant 25 games to start the 2023-2024 season, according to Adrian Wojnarowski, who just broke the news about 50-ish minutes ago. By the way, if you guys have comments and you want to get in on this, I'll answer stuff as well. But about 50 minutes ago, the suspension was announced for Ja Morant, 25 games. For people who haven't been following, Ja Morant, who's supposedly is one of, I wouldn't say the face of the NBA, but he is a star of the NBA, has brandished a gun twice out in public. Now, people will say, all right, maybe one time was a mistake. One time is a mistake, two times is stupidity. Okay? This whole thing is frustrating as heck. And it drives me absolutely nuts that Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, didn't do anything to prevent this from happening again. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I just don't understand. It's amazing. Adam Silver slip up, as you see on our shows all the time here on the Empty the Bench Network. But I'm just reading through the stories, and I'm just like, he should have gotten one full season. That's what should have happened. But Adam Silver, who can't control anything in his league and run it properly, gives him 25 games. And the stupid reason that I heard that they gave him 25 games because they had to give him at least 18 games could be eligible for the postseason awards, okay? Give me a break. And I'll read you some of the statement from the NBA, because we all know my favorite people at the NBA Communications had to make a dumb statement involved of what was going on. You know what? Let's go to the statement. Okay? So, according to NBA Communications, the NBA announced today that Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant has been suspended 25 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. Morant posed with a firearm in a car during a live stream video on May 13th. Now, for most people who didn't see the first video, he was out at a strip club, and he just go on Instagram Live and goes with a gun. It's amazing. This guy is young, full career ahead of him, and he's playing with guns. You can't make this up. So when that first incident happened on May 13th, 2 months ago, he got suspended for 8 games. Without pay for live streaming video on March 4th. It was a firearm while in the United State of the Denver area night. Okay. So, the NBA, and when I say NBA, Adam Silver, didn't handle this correctly the first time. Okay. And that's the problem here, everybody. Adam Silver doesn't know how to give punishment. And that is what's incredibly frustrating. Okay? It's amazing. He goes into a strip club, does this with a gun. And what does Adam Silver do? Slaps him on the wrist. It's unbelievable. Excuse me. And on top of that, so that incident happens. The league office found that on May 13th, Morant intentionally and prominently displayed a gun while in a car with several other individuals as they were leaving a social gathering in Memphis. Now, if you remember that part of the incident, he was with friends, or as I like to say, bad influences, and decided, you know what, I'm going to show off a gun in a car. Okay? And that was a bad decision for the second straight time that he decided to do it. So Morant wielded the firearm. Again, I'm reading the statement from NBA Communications here in New York. Morant wielded the firearm while knowing that he was being recorded and that the recording was being live streamed on Instagram Live, despite having made commitments to the NBA and public statements that he would not repeat the conduct. Well, guess what? Why do you think he repeated the conduct? Because Adam Silver decided to slap him on the wrist again, and again. Slapped him on the wrist. Adam Silver does not learn as the commissioner of the NBA. Okay? He does not learn. You're going to give him an 8-game suspension, which technically was a 2-game suspension, because basically he was away and wasn't able to do what he needed to do. Basically, he went away and they said, all right, I'm going to go into the facility and get myself better. Well, he didn't get better. He did it again. He did the same exact incident all over again. Explain this one to me, everybody, because I certainly don't understand. I don't know. Is it him being, is it Ja Morant being a star and saying, I don't give a shit about everybody else. I don't care about my family. I don't care about that I could endanger people that are around me if I'm wielding a gun. I don't understand. It's almost like Ja Morant is trying to basically end his career before it starts. As I go on and I read the rest of the statement, on May 16th, Morant issued a statement taking full accountability for his actions. What actions did he take accountability for? He didn't take accountability for his actions. He did, you know what? I'm going to do it again. If it wasn't the first time, I'm going to do it again time, okay? And then I go on to read the rest of the statement. Morant's suspension begins immediately and will remain in effect through the first 25 games of the 2024 NBA regular season, for which he is otherwise eligible and able to play. He will also be required to meet certain conditions before he returns to play. Now, what are these certain conditions? That's what I want to know, because Adam Silver doesn't lay anything out appropriately or normally when it comes to these incidents, so I want to know what these conditions are. Okay? Basically, he'll be ineligible to participate in any public league or team activities, including preseason games during the course of his suspension. Do you think he cares? Do you really think he cares that he's suspended for 25 games? He got his contract. He doesn't care. That's why the guys in the NBA keep doing these things and getting in trouble. Look at Zion Williamson. Now, Zion Williamson didn't break the law, but look at what's going on with him. He doesn't care. He's got his contract. He's paid. It's unbelievable, everybody. I'm going to keep saying this. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And then I go on to read another statement. Ja Morant's decision to once again wield the firearm on social media is alarming and disconcerting, giving his similar conduct in March, for which he was already suspended 8 games. Really? Really, Adam? Really? Really, Adam Silver? That's the statement you're going to make? Why didn't you do this the first time when he did it? You're telling me that now, after the second incident, is when you're going to say it's alarming. It was alarming the first time when he did it. Why are you saying now for the second time that it's alarming? Excuse me. It was alarming the first time. It's alarming the second time. It's alarming when an athlete is carrying a gun and doesn't know what he's doing with it. Do I have to go back to another incident I've mentioned on either Game On or ETB on this network? Plaxico Burress. We all know what happened to Plaxico Burress. He was carrying a gun, and he shot his own leg. And guess what? His career was over. Ja Morant's career could be over before it starts. And I think he's 23 or 24 years old. And he just signed a big contract for $195 million. It's amazing what these guys, once they get money and power, they don't think about their actions. They don't. They don't care. It's crazy. I go on to read the rest of the statement. The potential for other young people to emulate Ja's conduct is particularly concerning. Well, gee, Adam. Where was this the first time when you did it? When he did it, excuse me. If you don't want kids emulating his behavior, you should have handled it the first time with the proper punishment. That's what makes no sense in this situation. You're coming out with the statements that you should have said the first time when this incident happened. And now look what happened. You're in a shithole mess because you didn't handle it. And now you have all these kids who are wondering, with the whole Ja Morant situation, he brandished a gun, and now all these kids are seeing what he's doing, and it's a bad look. It's a bad look. It's amazing. It also says, under these circumstances, we believe a suspension of 25 games is appropriate. How in the hell is a 25-game suspension appropriate? It's not appropriate. For 2 gun incidents, he should have been suspended for the year. Because he doesn't care. Because he knows that Adam Silver's not going to punish him for the year, because Adam Silver needs stars. And needs the stars to make the NBA brand go. I've said this many times on Empty the Bench, that Adam Silver can't trust anything. Okay? Ja Morant is one of his guys, his stars. He needs him on the court. So God forbid, I just don't get it. It's frustrating. It hurts. And I see a comment in there, and actually Hank and I were talking about this. Dr. Evil with glasses strikes again. I mean, Adam Silver. Yeah, accurate. Very, very, very accurate, Hank. I'm not shocked by this news either. Is anyone else shocked by this news? I'm not. Did you really think Adam Silver was going to suspend Ja Morant for the year? That was wishful thinking on my part. I've said this for a long time, that Adam Silver should have suspended him for the year. You're right, Hank. Wheel of discipline. Absolutely. But what is the wheel of discipline? It has 2 games, 5 games, 8 games, even though 8 games somehow magically became 2. But for him to say this is appropriate is just blowing my mind. There's no way 25 games is appropriate. There's no way. So he goes on to say 25 games is appropriate and makes clear that engaging in reckless and irresponsible behavior with guns will not be tolerated. Gee, Adam, where was this the first time when the incident happened? Yeah, that's right. Adam Silver acts on delay and doesn't realize it. I don't understand. So now Ja Morant, who gets 25 games and walks off into the sunset, I'll just have a 25-game vacation. No biggie. As I'm losing my voice because I'm so mad about this. All right, I'll go sit out for 25 games. I'm still going to make my contract, though. It's not like they voided my contract for 2 gun incidents. And I go on to read the rest of the quote to finish off the statement from NBA Communications, their PR. For Ja, basketball needs to take a back seat at this time. Prior to his return to play, he will be required to formulate and fulfill a program with the league that directly addresses the circumstances that led him to repeat this destructive behavior. Gee! Why did he repeat the destructive behavior? He repeated the destructive behavior because you didn't punish him the first time. And that's the problem, everybody. Adam Silver is running a circus. Yes, a circus. And I mean quite literally a circus. If I can find my music here. A circus! I mean, quite literally. I'm waiting for someone to tell me how this makes sense. That's what I need to know here. Okay? This statement is bullshit. All right? NBA Communications basically put out a bullshit PR statement saying, oh, well, we don't tolerate Ja Morant's behavior. We don't tolerate any of this nonsense. Well, apparently you do, because it happened a second time. So apparently you do tolerate the behavior. And that's the problem. Adam Silver runs a league of maniacs. Okay? And you know what? We don't sound the alarms when we figure this whole situation out. You know what we do? We hide. We hide behind a PR statement from the NBA Communications in New York for the New York offices. All right? And for him to say that this is not tolerable behavior. Come on, man. Run the league. Stop being a pansy. You can't run this league. David Stern ran this league better than you did. And when you came into the league and you handled the Clippers ownership situation, that was your best move as commissioner of the sport when you came into the league. Okay? But after that was the end of you, because you wanted to be a players commissioner. Okay? You handled the Donald Sterling situation perfectly. Okay? But after that, once you said, I made my statement, I'm done. And that's it. And Hank, you're right. The NBA tolerates bad behavior the way the chap... That's more of an inside joke. But I don't get it. Excuse me. I just don't understand. Tell me how this statement makes sense. Make it make sense. Because it doesn't make sense. Okay? And I read through some of the other statements from Woj. Adrian Wojnarowski, who covers the NBA for ESPN. So Ja Morant made a statement. And when Ja Morant made a statement last time, I didn't believe it last time. You really think I'm going to believe the statement that is here now? You really think so? I don't think so. So here's a statement from Ja. I've had time to reflect, and I realize how much hurt I've caused. Really, Ja? You realized how much hurt you caused? Do you? He also goes on to say, I want to apologize to the NBA, the Grizzlies, my teammates, and the city of Memphis. To Adam Silver, Zach Kleiman, and Robert Pira, who gave me the opportunity to be a professional athlete and have supported me, I'm sorry for the harm I've done. To the kids who look up to me, I'm sorry for failing you as a role model. I promise I'm going to be better. To all my sponsors, I'm going to be a better representation of our brands. And to all my fans, I'm going to make it up to you, I promise. Really? Really? Before I go on and I read the rest of the PR junk statement that was put out, this statement was probably not even put out by him. This statement was probably put out by his agent or his PR team, because all athletes afford PR teams when they do stupid shit in public. And that's probably what this was, everybody. When he goes on to say, I've had time to reflect. What time have you had to reflect? You did 2 gun incidents in 2 months. You've had no time to reflect. And when you say, I want to apologize to the NBA, do you? Do you want to apologize to the NBA? If you want to apologize to the NBA, go away for the year. Go away for the year and prove that you're really sorry to the NBA. Don't be sorry to Adam Silver. Adam Silver's a jerk. Adam Silver doesn't know how to run the league. And for him to say that he apologizes to the Grizzlies and his teammates in the city of Memphis, you don't care about the city of Memphis. You don't care about your teammates. If you really cared about your teammates, you would have held it together and not done that. You cost your team. Big time. That's why there was no chemistry with the team at the Grizzlies. That's why they didn't win anything. It's all because of your sorry attitude. Excuse me. Then the rest of the statement says, I'm spending the offseason and my suspension continuing to work on my own mental health and decision making. Are you? So far, your mental health has not really been handled properly. It also goes on to say, I'm also going to be training so that I'm ready to go when I can be back on the court. First of all, you shouldn't be allowed back on the court this coming season. But guess what? After 25 games, let's just keep slapping him on the wrist. That's all it is. Where's my sound effect so I can do it? As I try to find it over here. It's all slaps on the wrist. Here it is. There you go, Adam Silver. Just keep doing that. Go ahead. That's all you're doing. Just keep slapping him on the wrist. Because you want him back desperately. You want him back on the court. All you care about is money. Money. This motivation is money. There it is, Adam. Wait, I didn't hear it. Again. Because you just want to ring up every cash register transaction to every jersey and every ticket and every sponsor you could bring in, even though Ja Morant lost some of his sponsors because of it. If I'm not mistaken, his Gatorade deal or his Nike deal went down because of it. That's what's so bizarre about this whole thing. It makes no sense. And part of the and also the other part is that I know my teammates are going to hold it down, and I'm so sorry, and I won't be out there with you at the beginning of the season. Again, you did this to yourself, knucklehead. You're the knucklehead, no one else. Stop hiding behind your PR statement and make a real statement. And that's what's frustrating. You're just going to hide behind a dopey PR statement and say, I'm sorry, and my mental health, and I'm sorry I let everybody down. That's not sincere. It's not sincere. At all, it's not sincere. Okay? That's what's so ridiculous about this whole thing. As I'm looking around and I see a lot of the other parts of this story as well. Originally, he was suspended from team activities because, oh yeah, that did so much when they were out of the playoffs. Go ahead, suspend him from team activities. He'll just go on vacation. It makes no sense. I dare someone to tell me that a 25-game suspension is the right thing. I dare someone to tell me that, because it's not. No way. With this gun situation twice, does he realize kids are on Instagram or on any social media? Kids are easily, what's the word I'm looking for? Enticed by athletes. Okay? When they see their favorite athletes doing something, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to want to repeat the same behavior. Oh, my favorite athlete does this, so I should do it too. Well, guess what, Ja? Now you have a reputation on top of you for the rest of your career. I'm the athlete that waves guns in public on Instagram Live. And you know what? Let me be careful about one thing. Excuse me. I'm not saying that athletes are pristine individuals and that they are perfect and they don't do anything behind closed doors. I know how the athletes' world works. They go to strip clubs. They go to nightclubs. They go out drinking. It's part of the lifestyle. It's what they do. And for any kids who don't think that these guys are out in the middle of nightlife doing stuff, then you're naive and you live under a rock. But he could have killed somebody with that gun. And I know Hank, who was watching, he does Game On our network here. Think about it. The Plaxico Burress situation, which I mentioned before again. Plaxico Burress in a nightclub, gun in his pocket, gun goes off, shoots himself in the leg, career never the same. Giants probably win one or two more Super Bowls. Now, it's a little different in this situation because, again, the Grizzlies are not really championship contenders right now. Were they a good team? Yes. Are they a spectacular team? No. Excuse me. But much different situation. Would the Grizzlies be a much deeper team with him leading the way, yeah. 25-game suspension, that's going to cost them next season. I already know it. Losing someone for 25 games, which should have been the whole regular season. And don't give me this nonsense that, oh, well, he's an athlete and athletes get away with shit. Wrong! He should have been suspended for the year. Should have. But of course, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but it's an Adam Silver slip up. Because Adam Silver does not care. Adam Silver would rather just prance around in his expensive suit and say, look at all the money I'm making! Yay! Amazing! Look at all the cash registers I'm clicking. I don't know. You know what we need to do? You know where we need to send Ja Morant? I have an idea. Oh, wait. I hear it in the distance.
Guangdong Tigers. Ni hao! Ni hao! Ni hao!
We should send Ja Morant to the Chinese Basketball League. Because he doesn't respect the NBA. If he respected the NBA, he wouldn't have done this a second time. He should be thrown out of the league. These guys disrespect the NBA. They don't respect anything. These guys are above the law, in their opinions. Now, technically, Ja didn't break a law, but he's above the NBA bylines. But this is every athlete in every league. They don't follow rules. They do what they want because they have power. More like drunk with power, if you ask me. And that's why Ja Morant only got 25 games. When he should have gotten the full season. I dare somebody to tell me that 25 games is normal and logical and makes sense. It doesn't. And if you look back at some of the other incidents he's had as well, you know that friend that he's been traveling around in these horrible circles with, Devontae Pack? Devontae Pack has been there for all the incidents that happened. I don't understand. Devontae Pack has been involved in several of Morant's off-court incidents that merited an investigation by the league office. Well, hey, Ja, maybe if this guy is a bad influence, maybe you should drop him like a bad habit. Because this guy's causing you problems and getting you in trouble. Do you remember the incident that happened with the Grizzlies and the Pacers? When I think Ja was traveling around in an SUV and someone shined a red laser in his SUV while he was traveling. Well, apparently Pack was involved in that too. It just doesn't add up. And the other weird thing was the timing of this. Adam Silver came out before the finals and said, well, I'll basically be the judge, jury, and executioner after the NBA finals are over. Well, good job, Adam. You basically wanted the attention on Ja Morant, not the NBA finals. That's what you were doing. Don't get me wrong. Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets, by the way, for winning the NBA finals. But that's pretty much worn off now with the Ja Morant news. Getting 25 games. And by the way, I have to call out ESPN because sitting him down with Jalen Rose and doing that interview was pathetic. Excuse me. It was pathetic. It was a soft landing space for Ja sitting and doing that interview with Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose didn't ask him any hard questions. He basically was giving him a spot to talk. To be honest, I don't think Ja Morant knows that he did anything wrong. Ja Morant basically looks at the situation and says, oh, well, I did it once. I pretty much got away with it. I'm going to do it again. And to be honest, even after the 25-game suspension, he'd probably do it again. And what's next? Is Adam Silver going to give him 30 games? 35? 40? It's ridiculous. I don't know. The NBA has a lot of bullshit it's got to figure out. So, as I said, Morant signed a 5-year, $195 million max contract, which was set to begin this coming season. Oops! It could have escalated to a supermax if he had made an All-NBA this season, costing him about $39 million in future earnings. Oops! I guess he's not getting that now. Wah, boo-hoo. You cost yourself $40 million. Still got the rest of the contract you signed. I don't know. But the other thing I swear, if I find this in the comments, that, well, second law, or what's the word I'm looking for? The freedom of guns. Freedom to bear arms. Second Amendment is what I meant to say. Second Amendment to bear arms. Don't give me that BS. Second Amendment to hold guns. Give me a break. And he's a great athlete. He could be a star, but he's destroying his career before it begins. And here's what I was saying before. He has endorsement deals with Nike and Powerade, though the sports drink company pulled an ad featuring him after the March video, and it currently is not running. Gee, I wonder why. Because Powerade did what Adam Silver couldn't do, which was, hey, you do something stupid, we're pulling your ad, and we're pulling your ad dollars. I don't know. I don't understand. And I'll get into this on episode 189 of Empty the Bench on next Thursday. But since this just happened after our episode, I got to address it. This is not going to end well for the league. You're going to see a lot of hypocritical people, I'm telling you. As I keep looking around on social media to see what the reaction to this is. And I'm not seeing much as of yet. But I'm just looking around and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There's no way. It just doesn't add up, everybody. 25-game suspension. If you're just tuning in, Ja Morant got a 25-game suspension to start the 2023-2024 season. Hey, Adam, do you want us to throw a party? Is that what you're looking for? You want us to say, yay, good job, Adam. You did it. Pat on the back. Pat on the back. You know what?
Oh my God!
I don't know. Anyone who wants to be in the comments section and say what he should have gotten for his suspension, let me know. 25 games is not enough. And he's trending all over social media right now because of this. And I guarantee you Adam Silver wanted this attention too. Hey, I gave him 25 games. I'm in control. Yeah, I'm in charge. I have all the power. Well, guess what, Adam? You've shrunk smaller than mini me. Because you're a coward. You're a coward because you don't know how to run your league. You can't tell me 25 games is enough for 2 gun incidents. You can't. If I asked you a truth serum to your face, Ja Morant commits 2 gun incidents, and you gave him a 25-game suspension, you're going to tell me that that's normal? And by the way, to go back to the statement also, where you said the decision to wield a firearm on social media is alarming and disconcerting. Disconcerting, giving his similar conduct in March, which he was already suspended 8 games. Come on, man! I don't get this. I don't understand. Adam, you know what you've done?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop your fucking lying.
You have lied. You've lied to this entire league. You could have handled this the first time. You could have. But you chose, like Roger Goodell, to sit on his chair during the NFL draft or sit in his bubble bath eating bonbons and do nothing. Because Adam Silver is good at doing one thing and it's nothing. He's not good at giving punishment. Because God forbid he gets on the bad side of the players. Oh, no. Oh, no. I can't get on the bad side of the players. Then I won't get what I want for the league. Hey, Adam, guess what? You know what you need to do?
Who is on crack?
Get off the crack. Because you are totally disillusioned and delusional right about now. Okay? You can't win. You can't win. A suspension. The only thing I would have accepted was a year suspension at this point. 25 games. It's not even half the season. At least give him half the season. But no, we can't do that. That's not possible. Because you run a league of clown shows. And that's what's so bizarre about this whole thing. And guess what? You know what Adam Silver is telling us?
RELAX.
He's saying relax. Don't worry about it. I got it under control. Don't worry about it. I'm the commissioner of the league. I understand what I'm doing. Do you? Do you? Do you understand what you're doing in the league, Adam? Because I don't think you do. This is just, it's such a weird situation to be in. Because you did it correctly when it happened. God forbid. God forbid you should have handled this. But no. You couldn't do that. And John Morant's probably laughing at you behind the scenes, Adam. I'd so love to talk to Adam and be like, hey, what was the thought process for 25 games? I so want to know. Did he just go like eeny, meeny, miny, mo and chose that number? Or as Hank said before, the wheel of confusion? Or did he throw a dart against the wall and said, 25 games, that's what I'm going to do? Then, you know what? That's probably what he did. He probably threw a dart against the wall. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, NBA suspends Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant 25 games to start the 2023-2024 season. Obviously, it's not enough. And I don't know. I'm not surprised, but I'm just like taken back. Because I thought maybe Adam Silver would maybe handle this, but he didn't handle it. He chose to take a big fat dump all over this situation. That's basically it. Make sure you follow us on social media at ETB Network, across our network, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you follow this show, ETB Sports, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at ETB Sports. YouTube.com/ETB Network, where we're live right now, also across Facebook and Twitter on the ETB streams and the ETB Sports streams. But that's pretty much it. This is all Adam Silver's fault. And we all know Adam Silver's is going to get questioned about this for the next weeks, months, and years. Because he doesn't know how to handle his league. But we'll see what happens. Will Ja Morant be able to recover after a 25-game suspension? Who the hell knows? Who knows? But that's going to do it. I will see you next week, next Thursday, for episode 189 of Empty the Bench. Also, Game On, I think episode 59. We'll probably talk about this as well on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever the show airs. And yeah, and actually, Paul Lombardi from the 3&D will probably will be the first show, our NBA and college basketball show, to hit this head on his show as well. But that'll do it. Excuse me. YouTube.com/EDB Network. And I guess that'll just about do it. So I'm Nick Morganson. Follow me on social media at NMorgansonRadio. And I'll see everybody next time. See you, everybody.